Favorite Mercedes Timmerman, 4-8, 26 years old, fighting out of 6'9", one-on-one MMA right here in North Platte, Nebraska, and another female bout, and the crowd getting pumped up for those, as we talked about earlier, Matt Bentley. They like to see the ladies get in here and throw down.
They do, man. You know, I think it's always exciting when you see females attempt and really excel in this sport. You know, it was for a very long time kind of frowned upon for them to participate, and I very much enjoy the fact that they're being given equal opportunities and how into it the crowd gets when we do have female competitors inside the cage.
All right, here we go. Here's Prophet Harmon with the official fighter introduction.
Friendly reminder to everybody here, these fights are streaming live from our partners from Flow Combat. Fighting out of the Lavander's Body Shop blue corner with a record of 3-7, standing 5 feet 7 inches, weighing in 133 pounds. Fighting from Pacific Warrior MMA, Selena Valdez-Montoya. Fighting out of Shaven Sanitation red corner with a record of 4-8, standing 5 feet 2 inches, weighing in 144 pounds. Fighting out of 6'9", one-on-one MMA, Mercedes Timmerman.
All right, there we go. The fighter introduction's out of the way. Nothing left to do but throw some leather. Mercedes Timmerman, the red trunks with the black top, against her opponent, Selena Montoya, sporting the white and blue. And here we go. The fighter's going to touch hands in the middle, and here we're underway. Scott Carlson alongside Matt Bentley. An MCF amateur female bantamweight title fight on the card. But we know Mercedes came in overweight, and so we're not sure if that title's still for grabs, but nonetheless, the lady's going to throw down today, Matt.
Yeah, and I do think that they, because due to the fact that Mercedes Timmerman did miss weight, they did go ahead, it looks like, and pull the title off the table.
All right.
So we're not watching a title fight right now. What we are seeing so far is that Mercedes has aggressively pushed forward. She let her hands go quick and is trying to push Montoya against the fence. Montoya did a great job of reversing the position, and it looks like she's looking for some short, dirty boxing and some knees against the fence here.
Mercedes Timmerman, one of those fighters that will be aggressive and try to take the fight to her opponent, but you saw Montoya quickly reverse Timmerman and get Mercedes back up against the cage, and now they're kind of locked up here. It'll be who can land the strikes. A separation now, and we're ready to strike again.
So back on the outside, you see straight punches from Montoya looking to land, while Mercedes is really relying on that left hook. She's landed it a couple times, pushing Montoya back up against the fence. I think one thing that gets overlooked a lot by the fans at home is how tiring this position is against the fence, how much work it is to not only try and reverse a position, but to keep your opponent there.
Yeah, not only you're supporting your weight, but you're supporting the weight of your opponent as well. And again, Timmerman had Montoya up against the cage. Montoya able to reverse that, but we didn't see much damage done by either fighter from this position before. So we'll see who separates here. I would guess Mercedes wants to separate and throw some punches.
It looks like Mercedes is looking, she's relying real heavy on that left hook, and it's worked for her so far. She's landed it a couple times. Montoya happy to kind of come with the grinder's approach here. Work some dirty boxing, looks like some short elbows and knees to the body and legs. I would like to see Montoya here possibly change levels and put Mercedes on her back and see how Mercedes does under the pressure of the ground game.
Under a minute to go, round number one. Mercedes Timmerman in the red trunks with the black top. Her opponent, Montoya, Selena Montoya, in the red top with the white trunks. And there we go, another reversal as these two ladies been locked up in this position. You talked about it, man, a very tiring position to be held in for this long.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of work that goes into this. You know, it's a very technical. This is where, you know, I think that a lot of people underestimate, again, cage control and wrestling up top. You know, they're pummeling and they're working to try and get space inside so that they can better their position for the fight. So far, you know, both are really struggling. We're going to get a break from the ref here. See some action on the outside.
And there we go, the waning seconds here of round number one. Not much time left And this one been all about up against the cage so far. But here we separate, and there's Mercedes with that left hook again, Matt.
And she's throwing it over and over again. She knows what she wants to land. My guess is she's looking for that left hook to set up a big right hand, possibly an elbow from Mercedes Timmerman. If I'm in Montoya's corner, I'm imploring her to use that reach. She has such a reach advantage over the shorter Timmerman. Get back to those straight punches.
Yeah. The other thing I noticed, Montoya's hands down at waist level pretty much the whole fight, which probably another reason why Mercedes Timmerman happy to throw those left. But here's a guillotine attempt by Montoya. Looks like it might be in tight, Matt.
It is tight, but Mercedes is doing a good job pressuring Montoya against the fence here. I would like to see Mercedes fight 2 hands on 1 and peel her head out of this position. Try to get back to the outside where she can land some leg kicks and that left hook. We got less than 10 seconds here, but that guillotine is locked on tight. I don't know that she's going to have the time to finish it.
It doesn't look like it. It looks
there
like
we
it. There we
go.
go. There's the horn, and Mercedes was turning her body, looks like, trying to defend that. Must have created just enough space, that guillotine, but about 3 different times Montoya cinched that in. That final time looked pretty tight, huh, Matt?
No, it definitely was, and Timmerman did the right thing by pressuring Montoya's back into the fence so she couldn't arch her back or feed her hips without the danger of possibly being taken down and losing that submission attempt. I would like to see Mercedes try harder to stay on the outside. You know, the difference between a polished striker and simply an aggressive striker is they manage distance and timing so well. And one thing that Timmerman could do better heading into this next round is keep that space between her and Montoya, eat those, you know, make Montoya eat some leg kicks and use that left hook to set up a straight right hand.
All right, 1 round in the books. This one scheduled for 3 rounds. And Mercedes Timmerman, Selena Montoya, pretty much I think it could go either way there.
And I just got word from our production crew that this is still a title fight for Montoya. So
right.
If Montoya is victorious, she will be crowned the bantamweight champion since she made weight. If Timmerman is victorious, she will not walk away with the MCF title
All
tonight.
right, there we go. Thank you, Nate, for clarifying that. Nate Rogers, MMAFutures.com, back in the control room for us, feeding us the info we needed. And you heard it. Originally a bantamweight title fight. Mercedes Timmerman, 9 pounds overweight in the weigh-in. 11 pounds overweight. Therefore, the title on the up for grabs for Montoya, but not for Timmerman. So you guess I could say more on the line for Montoya than for Timmerman, but Mercedes, one of those fighters that's not going to treat it that way. And here we go again. Same position we saw, Matt, back against the cage.
Well, yeah, and Timmerman came out and she landed a left hook right away, but she's too willing to press Montoya into the fence, where I don't think Timmerman is winning this fight if she keeps it there. You know, I think Montoya's doing a better job controlling and working some short-range shots. Obviously, that guillotine attempt in the first round is still a threat if the shorter Timmerman decides that she wants to have the bout contested against the fence.
All right, round number 2, just 3 minutes to go here in this one. And Mercedes Timmerman been happy throughout the first 2 rounds here to try to land that left hook. And there she goes again, repeatedly throwing at Matt Bentley.
But again, it's a distance thing. Look at this. Montoya once again has Timmerman pinned up against the fence because Mercedes is unwilling to kind of manage her distance a little better. She just gets in kind of a rush, and I think that's where you see the difference in young amateur fighters versus like some polished veteran pros.
Sure, for sure. And, you know, you got to also think about energy management as well. They're throwing that left hook with reckless abandon, a good way to burn energy. They were just joining us, Mercedes Timmerman in the red trunks with the black top. Her opponent, Selena Montoya, white trunks with the blue top, approaching 2 minutes to go here, round number 2. And if you missed it before, the bantamweight title on the line for Montoya, but Mercedes Timmerman overweight in the weigh-in, so her victory would not give her the bantamweight title. And again, tied up, cage side, back to the cage, position we've seen throughout the fight here. But it's Montoya basically trying to keep that left hook off her, and Mercedes trying to separate so she can throw that left hook some more.
Yeah, and I just think that Montoya, if she is going to go ahead and own this position, she really is doing a great job controlling Mercedes. She needs to start bringing Mercedes' head down, possibly look for some knees high, or work those more knees to the body. She's staying very busy with knees to the legs, which are scoring her, you know, points. But eventually, if you're looking to finish the fight, which we talked about earlier, that's what we all want to do as competitors, she's going to need to take some more chances here.
Just under 90 seconds to go, round number 2, this bantamweight fight in the female division, and Mercedes Timmerman now reverses Montoya, has her back up against the cage. Let's see if maybe she can inflict some damage.
Mercedes isn't even looking to create space right now. She's got that right arm using it as an overhook. She needs to get it in front of the body or chin of Montoya so that she can create some space and get back to striking, not just let the referee do it for you.
Right, there we go. The referee comes in, separates these fighters, and says we need to see some more action, so they'll touch gloves and go at it again.
The jab of Montoya, I'd really like to see her use that more again. She has a very good reach advantage over the smaller Timmerman. She needs to get that jab going. Nice leg kick there, and a straight right hand followed by Mercedes Timmerman.
30 seconds to go. This round number 2, bantamweight title fight. Title fight anyway in the eyes of Selena Montoya, as Mercedes Timmerman coming in overweight and therefore not eligible to grab that title. But again, back here to this position so common, Montoya not wanting to allow any space to be created by Mercedes Timmerman because that left hook is what keeps raining on her when she does it. So content again to force Mercedes up against the cage as we go under 10 seconds here, round number 2.
But Mercedes is just too content on staying there. It's not even that Montoya is forcing Mercedes against the fence. Mercedes just happy to be there. And if Mercedes wants to pull out a win in this contest tonight, she's going to need to go ahead and strike more on the outside. Again, manage her distance better so that she can further, do some damage with that left hook, which has found a home for Mercedes Timmerman in this bout.
All right, as we prepare for the 3rd round in this one, both fighters return to their corners. Take an opportunity to give a shout out to Russ Jones and Midwest Championship Fighting, another great event in North Platte. As we look around us, Matt Bentley, the place filled up here at the DNN Event Center, and a fight town, if you will, a town that likes to come out and support mixed martial arts events, and they didn't disappoint again tonight.
They definitely are behind their athletes in this event put on by Russ Jones and brought to you live by Flow Combat.
If you are just joining us, we will mention one more time this on the card as a bantamweight title fight, and Mercedes Timmerman overweight at weigh-ins and therefore ineligible to grab that title. But should Selena Montoya secure victory, she will be the MCF Amateur Bantamweight Champion. And here we go, round number 3. They touch gloves, and we'll see what happens. The first 2-round story of it has been Mercedes Timmerman with her back against the cage while Selena Montoya's on her. And you mentioned not necessarily a forced position, but one where Mercedes has been happy to sit until she gets separated so she can throw some more punches. Like to see her create some space here the whole round, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a close fight right now because it just kind of boils down to what each judge individually is looking for as criteria to declare a winner. Right now, it looks like Mercedes is doing a better job of being on the outside, but then here we go. Again, content to put Montoya on the fence. Now, if Montoya reverses this position and goes back to work, I think if I'm judging this fight, my own opinion, Montoya gets the nod from me. However, again, it's just going to boil down to what each individual judge is looking for as far as scoring criteria.
And that right there is the reason you don't want to leave it in the hands of the judges, because you truly never know what's going to happen, how they're going to score a fight, and what they're looking for. And some judges, I think, look at damage to fighters. Some look at busyness, who controlled the tempo of the fight. You just never know. So you got to believe both of these fighters want to finish it. They don't want that to happen. But here again, we see Mercedes Timmerman back up against the cage, just kind of allowing Selena Montoya to hold her there. A reversal now, but you've been saying we need to see some space created here so she can rain those punches.
Yeah, Montoya is just, to me, the busier fighter when they're in these positions. She's happy to go ahead and take some of these pot shots, some short knees to the legs, some body shots, work her dirty boxing, because Mercedes isn't even trying to get off the fence right now, And to me, if I'm looking at who's winning these exchanges, almost every time I'm scoring Montoya the winner of these positions. And again, Mercedes is just hanging out like she's waiting for the referee to step in and create that space for her.
As we approach under 2 minutes to go here, round number 3 of this amateur bantamweight title fight, Mercedes Timmerman in the red trunks with the black top Selena Montoya in the wine blue. And again, a separation as the referee ready to see some more action, just not getting enough up against the cage. And
I think if Montoya can get a little busier on the outside here, it'll secure that victory for her.
Yeah, you're right. And the judges have got to see, like you saw, the control up against the cage, earning points. Anyway, being the busier fighter in comparison to Mercedes Timmerman. And so Mercedes has got to maybe find some urgency here as we go approaching a minute to go here in round number 3.
Mercedes needs to get back to that left hook and look for the straight right hand. She could also set that straight right hand up with an inside leg kick. Her opponent, Montoya, is in somewhat of a, there's the inside leg. Montoya is in somewhat of a sideways stance, just opening up her leg as a target. If Mercedes follows those leg kicks with a straight right hand or a big elbow, she does have the power to sleep Montoya in this fight here tonight.
Under 1 minute to go, round number 3. Mercedes Timmerman in the red trunks, Selena Montoya in the white trunks, and both fighters have really been happy with the cage, up against the cage position, but they've kept it here for a significant amount of time out in the middle of the ring, some space.
Well, and you can see Mercedes just look up at the clock. She wants to know how much time is left. You know, she did miss weight. I got to wonder if she had trouble as she attempted to make that weight cut, and now we see that inside leg kick drop Montoya to the ground. I just don't think Mercedes Timmerman has the amount of time she needs to pull this W out here tonight.
10 seconds to go, round number 3. You hear her corner beside us telling Mercedes Timmerman, you've got to go, but she's not, and lands a good left hook there. Left hook again, and that'll do it. That'll do it. Couple left hooks landed by Mercedes Timmerman, significant punches at the end, but will it be enough for the judges to give her a decision? As we take a look at the replay, Matt, break it down.
Here we go. You see a little jab work on the outside by Montoya. Comes in with a right hand, and Mercedes clips her with the left hook. There's the inside leg kick. Okay, good Muay Thai there, putting Montoya in a bad position. Again, this is just a situation for me where it's too little too late. The judges, this could go either way. However, again, if I'm looking at this from the position of a judge, I'm probably scoring Montoya the victory, and also that would give her that bantamweight championship for the MCF here tonight.
And that's correct as we await the judge's decision here. As you see, ring announcer Prophet Harmon over there with the Nebraska Athletic Commission representative and looking at the scorecards. That would lead me to believe that we probably have a split decision, and he's probably telling him how to read it, would be my guess. Matt, what do you think?
There is a very good chance of that, you know. There is a very good chance of that. Like I said, this was a close fight, you know, and this is a good example of how a fight can kind of be won in the trenches sometimes.
And here is Prophet Harmon with the official decision, Mercedes Timmerman and Selena Montoya.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision. One judge calling it 30-27, blue. One judge calling it 29-28, red. Another judge, 29-28. Announcing the winner, Selena the Boss Montoya.
And there you have it, a split decision victory for Selena Montoya. The local fans not happy, but Matt, I gotta believe that holding Mercedes Timmerman up against the cage was probably enough to convince at least 2 of the 3 judges that she was the deserving of the victory here tonight.